birds.
We're back.
Birds are flying today, bro.
Oh, my ear. My ear's hurting.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Welcome to
Yes.
the show. We're
Yes.
glad to have you with us
We
tonight.
are.
Hey, it's 2, but soon there shall be
3 of them.
There he is.
Oh,
Ah.
oh, thank you.
Hey, man, how are you, man?
It's the show tonight.
Yes, tonight. You didn't get the memo?
It's not Sunday. It's Monday. Oh, I thought it was Sunday night. Oh my gosh.
All right, see you later, man.
No. Okay, no. We're gonna remind you that it's Monday. We're gonna you know why it's not Sunday?
Why is it not Sunday?
Did the Commanders win?
The Commanders won.
Yesterday?
Yes, we did.
We played yesterday.
We beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Woo, that was so sweet.
4-0.
3-0.
I know 3.
No, 3-1.
Oh yeah, 3-1.
Right.
2-2.
Win the
2 in a
division.
row. King Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Win the division. I knew Henry was. You know what? I knew Henry was going to have a good season. I was trying to get the Cowboys to get him, but they're so stupid. So let's not talk about that. Let's just.
Why not talk about it? We're gonna talk about
We're
that.
gonna talk about that. So how was Dallas this week?
How was your guys' weekend?
How was
It was
Dallas
very
this
good.
week?
It was very good. Very good.
Yeah,
And before we do that, and just to know that I'm not prejudiced against Dallas, happy birthday, Kaylin. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I know I saw you earlier on with Sabrina getting your back cracked at the chiropractor, but enjoy your day. You deserve it.
Right. And also a special shout out to a
Happy
young man we
birthday.
understand has been watching our show.
Yes.
Named by the brother Diamond.
I think that's his nickname.
You know
I think
what's
he's Jamaican and he's been watching the show.
So
Keep
shout out
doing
to
it.
him.
Yes, positive. We thank you for watching us, and we did take up what you said about us. So
Right. And as far as this weekend, he was helping me out, helping me with building the props for our upcoming production.
yes.
On October the 19th called Why Question God at Transformation Church.
Mhm.
So this is a dynamic production, dynamic
Why
set
question God at Transformation Church? Why
at
question?
Transformation Church. The production is called Why Question God.
Oh, wait a minute, something
It will
coming.
be
Something coming.
at the Transformation
Wait a-
Church in Baltimore.
Yes, he will.
Written and directed by our very own Sharon Tyrell. And
Cool runnings.
and our assistant director,
Mhm.
Sister Kirsten Rollins. So come on.
Yes.
So I can question God at Rehoboth. I just can't question him at Transformation. You say, why question God at Transformation Church?
Let me ask you a question. How many plays you had at your church?
Three.
Okay.
No, I'm not
Actually,
talking
one-
about you pushing a button and the
one of
play
them-
wheel comes up.
One of them we took from Transformation. When Nicole was working with us and she was our youth local and she was a national, you guys did one and we took that one and we did that one. That was the last one that we did. That was back in like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So I forget which one it was called.
2019.
But
2019.
yeah. No, it was an older one of yours and we got the script from your director. I think it's the same person who does most of your scripts. We got the script from her.
From Judy or Sharon?
Sharon.
Okay.
Okay, good. Other than that, what else did you do this weekend?
Well, this weekend was district convocation. So I don't know if people will watch with Bishop Saunders came and took the place on Friday. Bishop Bull tore it up on Saturday. Great time. So for the Second Episcopal Diocese, Bishop Paul Brown and all of the overseers and bishops, great time, really good time. So we are grateful for the time that we had. So it was special. So that was what my week was. Oh, my daughter won her soccer game. My daughter's actually getting to be good.
What?
And I'm impressed. She's not listening right now. I don't think she's getting her hair done or something. But if she was listening, I would say that
She's not wearing a red shirt though, right?
I'm sorry.
She's not wearing a red shirt.
She's wearing a white and red. She's more like Liverpool, which I don't understand
Okay,
why.
good.
But we can't talk about Man U either. Let's not talk about that because that's just a sour note. But
Yeah, we won't talk
We
about
had a diocese meeting too yesterday, right?
Yeah, our Episcopal Men's Diocese service.
Wait a minute. Who preached?
Pastor Rodney Lewis,
His team was what?
Dallas.
Ruben, wait a minute. He came up to the pulpit. he gave me a shout out. He wasn't a good shout out though. The reason is just a small scenario. When we got up there, I'm sitting next to Bishop Jr. security. I'm up front. I just so happened to be at the very front bench, front row at the end inside. And he was right there in front of me. And I know God is good, especially when I'm going to have my friend who I know I'm wanting to avoid talking to about the game. Okay, Simon, I still love you, though. It's funny. It was funny. But apart from that,
it was a good weekend, man. It was a
good
power pack.
Good.
So tonight,
well, Simon, do his thing first, unless you guys already did. I don't know if you guys.
This one is for Diamond
from Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn, we want everybody.
That's what I told you I met. That's what I told you I met. When I went to Bishop Church. Remember, I told you last week.
Oh, okay. Our producer met him also.
Yeah, our producer. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let me try that again. All right. I want for everybody to push the button, like it. You got to share it and subscribe. Even if sometimes you can't watch it, you can always go back and press it and watch it and look it and share it again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Anytime you want. We love you all. Push the button.
The English version is, if you like what you're viewing tonight, please hit like, share. We appreciate you. We're trying to reach over 1 million subscribers. So please help us out and push that button. Thank you.
Thank you for the interpretation. Warriors united for Christ.
So speaking of tonight,
yeah, anyway,
we're going to be dealing with, let's talk retirement. Some of us are retired. Some of us are looking into retirement. We're not professionals when it comes to retirement, but tonight we're just going to try to dive into what to look for, what to expect, what should we be planning, and basically get the ball rolling if you're about to knock on that door of retirement. So Simon, talk to us. What did you do?
What did you say? No. Okay. I was as most people know, I was in the post office. Okay. 30 years in the post office. So what was happening though, I was coming to the end and I was having knee issues, which I also had knee surgery, but then it came up. There was a lot of people around about my age, above 60. I'm just going to say that, above 60, retiring one by one. And in that year, 2 years ago, 7 people retired.
Wow.
7 people retired. Some of them, and it's not all for the same reason too. Some of them are like, I can't do this no more, man. The post office is killing me. It's wear and tear. It's a whole lot of wear and tear. Mm-hmm. Of course, the pay was good at the post office. If he was on the overtime was great also. So, but then it was the years. And these people had years, like I was explaining to my 2 amigos here, that was a guy who's like 70 years old, 40 years in the post office and still working.
Wow.
And then you can understand, well, why didn't he? Well, when you by yourself, that's probably his only solution where he was going to communicate with people. So he didn't feel like it. So we could imagine what kind of retirement plan he's going to have, assuming that he does it right and he still has his money and whatever. But for myself, it was pushing my both knees. I got arthritis in my both knees. And the one knee, walking was horrible. It was horrible. Coming into the vehicle, out the vehicle. So that retirement push was coming on. The years, I already had the age. The age. Mm-hmm. It was just waiting for that 30 to come up. And it was like 7 months away. And it seemed like 2 years as soon as I push it. But like everyone has their different ways or different ideas of how they want to retire. But I definitely knew I had to wait until then if I want to get a good plan.
See, that's the key thing right there.
Yeah, if I want to get a good plan.
Right.
So knowing that when I do retire, that I don't have to go back to work. And Now you see a lot of people who they don't generally work, but do a job that I like. For instance, I work for the Orioles. It's just pretty easy. I'm not working hard. Greeting people, showing people where to go. So that's another form of income coming in that's not too stressful on me because I'm doing something I like. Now, some other people may be doing it different if their plan is not what they really want it to be or whatever, and get a third job and they're doing 10, 12 hours.
Then that kind of defeats the whole process of retirement if you got to do 2 or 3 more jobs. Right?
But and I think sometimes if you've worked a long time, it may be hard to get out your body that I'm not going to work no more.
Right.
I'm looking at you.
I know you're looking at me.
Yeah, I know you're coming up now. So some people, they're not really working that hard what they're doing, but like you said, it could defeat the purpose if you still put in 8, 9 hours a day, because I'm not doing that.
Right. Because I know one thing we were looking at, because we're looking at retirement. I know one of the plan of action I had is trying to get a lot of things paid off, like credit cards, if at all possible. Anything that's going to make you feel more obligated to want to work longer. Just try to get a lot of things. And I think one of my major concerns with retirement is a lot of the benefits, what you can still have once you retire. Because, when you work in corporate America, you got all those benefits right there. And once you leave, a lot of times those things don't tend to follow with you.
Yeah, well, I would say the number one thing you want to do before you retire is know what you have and know what you don't have. Know your plan, what your company offers you in return versus what it doesn't. Because like you said, some companies you can have benefits, certain benefits for a little longer in retirement. You just get a smaller amount of retirement depending upon what type of plan there is. But you kind of know exactly what you can get, how long it lasts for, all those things before you make your final decision. That's number one, probably. And I think if we ask folks kind of that are listening, who knows exactly what they get in their retirement, or I can guarantee probably less than 50% will say, I know everything. They might know some things, but everything is very rare because people don't even look. There's some people that haven't changed their 401k, how it's invested over the years. And they they know they get a number. They see the number, but over the years, they never made change. They didn't know they could change it.
Right.
Because I even remember at the post office, they would try and give, especially people of age, early outs.
Yes.
They would try to give you that early out, that plan, because they didn't want you to get get to your retirement end or when you want to leave or Social Security. So they give you this nice, well, it looks nice, that nice package for you to leave early. So
early outs are normally done by companies for two purposes. One, they get rid of high salaries, right? Because you get rid of high salaries, bringing a lower salary. Number two is retirement plans, because if you have a certain retirement plan, the company's got to be the company that covers it, right? So especially during times when the economy is doing well, where the stock market is doing well, they want to get early outs because your retirement plan is growing pretty big, quicker than they would like it to grow, especially over 6% per year, because then they got to pay it out at some point, and that takes away from their bottom line, especially if they have a lot of people about the same age. Like I know that when I worked at Merrill Lynch, a lot of the people were all in their 50s. So they were giving you 55, you could retire early.
Yeah.
And they were like, if we get you on 55, it's better than you work until 60. Because they don't want to fire you. They don't want to lay you off because they still got to pay.
Right.
And sometimes they're going to pay you severance pay. They want you to voluntarily walk away.
Yeah.
And they give a decent severance, they give a decent severance pay. But again, you should know that too, because at 55, if you know I can get a job over here, take that retirement because you're making a lot of money sometimes and go work a different job, if you want to, or live off of what you can. But
but Simon made a good statement early. He said, because, a lot of times when you retire, your retirement is not going to equate to what you were getting if you were working on a regular basis, because he spoke about the overtime. So that's something too. You think about that money that you once had, you're not going to have anymore. So you got to keep that in your mind also when you retire. So there's a lot of factors that go into play when you start knocking on that door. Checks and balances, like you said earlier. I mean, they're making it difficult now for, they keep raising it to when you can actually collect off your Social Security. I mean, a lot of people play it smart. You may hit your 401, leave that Social Security alone until you get closer to that benchmark where you can actually hit the Social Security without getting any type of penalty. I mean, that's what I'm planning to do anyway. I'm not even going to touch Social Security until I need to really touch it. But, exhaust my 401, the other benefits I have, whatever the case may be. That's the goal I have in mind right now, but it may change. Who knows?
Right. And I think that folks have to, like you said, think about how much income they're willing to spend, right? How much income you have to spend, how much income you're willing to spend. Sometimes you might not make as much, but then you may not have as many bills because you did, like what you said, pay off what you can.
Right.
Some people don't. Some people don't pay off what they can. Some people don't mind that those high, credit card bills or whatever. But most of us who live within a means or in a budget has to worry about them. And the only thing, and then I noticed this. This is, I want to tell people, be very careful. A lot of people say, "Oh, my house paid off. Pay off my house." A lot of people say that. It's cool. But if your house is helping you reduce your taxes because you pay a mortgage and you have that interest on it, that interest income, that reduces your taxes. And in retirement, you're hardly paying any taxes as it is.
Right.
It's good to have sometimes that early on. So maybe you don't want to pay off, but if you can handle your mortgage, think about it, because paying off your tax, like for instance, most people say, I get my retirement things, I'm going to pay off my house. Well, you paid off that lump sum of money that could be growing at 6 or 7% per year is a lot less. Yeah, you don't have that. You don't have the mortgage bill, but the growth is being hit and you're losing growth. So that's got to calculate that too. So sometimes you want to talk to somebody who can actually give you those numbers on what this thing will grow to if you don't pay off your house versus if you pay off your house. So that's something to think about too. But let's look at some of these.
Let's look at some of these comments we got coming in as well.
Okay.
Scroll up here.
All right. When you retire, keep a secret from your family and friends. It is a weight off your back, though, if you plan properly.
You can go two ways with that. Because when they know you retire, they're going to call you.
I don't know how you keep it a secret. Eddie tells how you keep retirement a secret. Because if you used to get up, like Mark, if you get up at 1:30 in the morning and you're not getting up at 1:30 in the morning, you're like, what's going on? Why are you not home?
That's what I'm laughing at him for. What he do retire? I can't see. No. 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm going to still be up sending you guys text messages.
At 2 o'clock in the morning. Look, I don't mind family knowing I'm retired, family, but it's the friends. They start calling. No. What's it? Esther says, the time to think about and work towards retirement is when you first start working. Save, save, save.
And that is so important. Saving is crucial because you just don't know one day from the next.
Yeah. So I'm minded to this. So for today, these young people now who have these jobs, retirement seems so far, far away. And it's going to be so different. And how long will they have? I mean, 25, 20, 25, 30. They have to work these jobs. And today, they don't even like to stay at one job for more than 3 to 5 years.
They bounce.
So they bounce. So I don't know if you can work for the same company and have 20 years or you bounce from, but I mean, because it's different.
Yeah, that's a problem when it comes to look about the maybe top 5 retirement things out there, right? We have the Roth IRA, traditional IRA, simple IRA. So IRA as a whole is already one of the major things that you have in retirement, but those are self-created. But then you have your 401ks, which are mostly company created. You have your annuities, which are mostly, again, you created, and then you have what's called the SEPs and the KIOs and of course, the pension plans that are not much out there. You have your cash value plans, which aren't out there as much. And you have your profit sharing plans. Everybody should be celebrating or in their profit sharing plans. Profit sharing plans mean that you give a certain amount of money to your company and your company says, hey, we're going to either match it up to this much or whatever. So you give 5% of your salary, we're going to match it up to 4%. they give you 4% more. It's a way to grow your retirement quickly. So if young people, if you're not doing that, do it. I know it may seem like a burden, but instead of putting $100 to your account, you could be putting $150 to your account because your company's always matching what you give at some percentage. So that's important. So yeah, saving early is important. But a lot of people don't do it.
Nope.
Because like you said, oh, I don't need to do it right now. I'm so far from retirement or whatever it may be.
Thank you, Ann. She agrees with me. Yeah, she agrees with me.
One.
Yeah.
Pay, as people are just listening, she agreed with Mark because she said, pay off as much as you can, establish a retirement budget, and live within your means.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah, I think it's tough to though establish a retirement budget only because there's unforeseens, right? Unless you're going to put the unforeseens in there, some of those miscellaneous.
Right.
Health
it's always
plans.
good to have a miscellaneous category in your budget.
Yeah, health plans, things like that, definitely. Wait, did I miss one?
She just telling. She agreed with Esther too. Be good stewards of your money all along the way. And Grisham said yes, Esther.
Right.
Well, she may have said it to him before that.
She says, Angela, how does it affect your taxes that much anymore in MD?
In Maryland.
Yeah, MD is Maryland.
I know that, but I'm like, how does it not affect me? Because it's federal tax, it's not a state tax.
I'm not sure about that.
Do you not pay income tax on your mortgages?
Oh, yes. We do.
Then it affects it.
Yeah.
Then clarify for me so I know what's going on.
Okay, this is the producer, everybody. His name is Ken Walsh. So if you want something to say to him, call me later. I'll give you his private line. We should.
Good point. This is the point I made in Ken's comment.
Yes.
Saying it.
You should always try to put 8% to your company, your 401k, if there is one, and if your company is matching, plus company stock, if there is one.
So a stock is like an employee stock option plan or employee stock. So if you see something that says ESOP or ESPP on your retirement stuff, that's a stock sharing plan. Okay. Right. Here's the thing about stock sharing plans, though. As a company does well, if you believe in your company, get that stock sharing plan. But if your company goes south, that account, I can tell you a story of Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch, there was a financial advisor in the Portland, I think it was the Portland area, Oregon area. I would call him all the time. He'd say, Rupert, I'm retired. It's going to be great, blah, blah, blah. I'm well off. He had probably $5 million alone in Merrill Lynch stock. Well, if you remember Merrill Lynch to tank,
yes,
back a while ago, and stock that was $108 per share went all the way down to $3. I called him a couple months later. He goes, well, my wife is happy because I can't stay home now. Got to keep coming.
Wow.
So he got crushed because he did the employee stock purchase plan. And when the company's doing great, you do great, but keep an eye on it because if the company goes south, you want to take that money out.
Absolutely. Oh, a good friend, our Elder Earl Arnell Lawrence, our world famous cricket player, who's chiming in for tonight. He says, it's important to remember that the most basic bill remains the same. Please be careful to include such in your budget. That is true. I agree with that 100%. Because I can't do that, Jamaica. I'll mess it up. Because there's some bills that you're going to have every month. It's going to remain the same. Keep that in there in your equation.
Electric bill, water bill. If you live in a supervised building that you have to pay maintenance fees, those type of things, they will always be the same. They may go up, but they'll be there. You got to add them. Yeah. So those are what he's talking about. Yes.
Many jobs don't have pensions, so new workers must set up their own retirement savings. It is crucial to start as early as possible.
That's interesting. I mean, being in corporate America so many years, I never thought about those jobs who don't have those type of benefits. It just, you think it'd be a given that would be something that's established, but I guess it's not.
Yeah, so most retirement plans are for those salaried people. Salaried people sometimes don't have them. They're out there. State jobs being probably the one that kind of goes outside of that because most state jobs have them. But pensions, yeah, I think she's talking about mostly, and pensions aren't as prevalent as they were maybe back in the 70s and 80s. Everybody had pension plans.
Right.
401k plans took over. Profit sharing plans took over. The reason why mainly is because, one, they're cheaper. Because pension plans normally had to ride out the life of the employee. So if you retire at 65 and you live to be 100, every month you're getting a check, and that company's got to pay that check, right?
Yeah.
They calculate how much you're gonna make per month, and it's based on your life expectancy, which at the time was maybe 82 or 80, right? So if you retire at 65, they think 15 years we got to pay this. Well, if you live to be 95, they have 10 more years of payment. And so what happened is they said, these pension plans are killing us. They're taking away. We're paying way too much. And they look to the future. And the most of the retirees haven't even retired yet. We've got the baby boomer, which is the biggest population, going to be retired at the same time. We can't do this. So what they did was they created, or they pushed to 401k plans, profit sharing plans, things like that, where now it's a lump sum of money at your retirement, whatever it is, they take it and give it to you.
Right.
They say, here it is. Do what you want.
Yeah.
So instead of you having to worry and them having to worry about paying over your time, they give you what you earned and what you put in there. So it's
because my company I'm with now, I just missed the cutoff for that pension plan. I was like, when I started, they just went away with it. I was like, had I started maybe the year before, I would have made it in and been grandfathered in under that pension plan.
Yeah.
Such is
now,
life.
Simon, you probably should have a pension plan. You don't?
Is that my business? No.
I couldn't even tell me how much it was. I just
No.
I don't know if you
My bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, the views and opinions.
As you said earlier, your life expectancy. I don't want no one coming to my door saying you went over your age. You gone too far.
Oh goodness.
Yes, sorry.
I think that the post is listening. Hey man, I get what I get. I got you, man. I got you.
Safe. I like that. He's safe. Okay. Ken says all stocks plans are a gamble. Spread it out to others. Cover your bases, which is true. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That old cliche. And when you're doing your 401, you got to make sure you monitor what you're looking at.
Yeah, but stock purchase plans, you can't do that with. Stock purchase plans are only your stocks. You cannot spread it out until a certain amount of time. You have it, then you can move it out of that account.
Well,
but
yeah.
Lose on the growth of that company, right? Because if they were created so that because you believe in your company. So if I know that I'm buying stock for my company, I want to make sure I do well for that company, so that way my stock goes up. So it was a way to get employees to be more proactive in promoting their company and working harder with stock purchase plans. You can move that money out after a certain time, but that's not what they want you to do. They want you to keep it there as long as possible. And if you believe in your company, you're going to. Hopefully, hope for a stock split.
Before you get to the next question, it's time for you to say
in English. Okay. We would like everybody to push the button. We want you to subscribe with us. And at the same time, we want you to share us with everybody else. And we want you to like us very much. So we appreciate everybody who's on here and listens to us every week. Continue to share, like, and subscribe. We love you all. Thank you.
That was the Queen's English that you just heard.
I don't know what that was. It was mixed. Anyway, continue.
Rupert's like, what?
What?
Amen.
I can do Indian.
Let's read. Those that know about
Go ahead.
share their wisdom. Generally, as African Americans, we don't talk about money. That needs to change. Amen. I agree. We don't talk about money that needs to change. I agree. We don't. Simon didn't want to talk about if he had a pension. He's afraid that.
Okay. I am not saying nothing.
He's afraid. But yes, we need to talk about money. Again, like I said, if you don't know your plans, you miss out on a lot. I used to do certain things for retire. I used to call financial planning, and I went to a university, Princeton University, Primary University, and I talked to a lot of the lower level workers. I mean, lower level workers. I don't mean that they were low level. I mean that their job, they weren't teachers, they weren't professors, they were administrators or worked for custodian and worked for the field. I talked to a lot of them, and what I found out was that most of them never touched or looked at their 401k. So a lot of them worked. One lady worked 27 years at Princeton. She only had $17,000 available for retirement, which is ridiculous because it was all in cash. And I said, didn't anybody come to the company to talk to you about this? And he said, yeah, but I ignored those letters. Okay. So when you receive an email or a letter stating that somebody's going to come to talk about your 401k plan, every company is required to have a fiduciary come. I believe it's every 6 months. It could be every year. Is required by law to have somebody come and talk to you about your retirement account. Because as Ken said, they are in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, or in different types of things other than cash sometimes that you can invest in, but they all go in as cash. And as you know, cash doesn't go up. Cash delineates because of inflation. Yeah. So what was 10,000 today in cash is going to be 9,000 10 years from now. So you lose money if you just in cash. So make sure you talk to somebody about your retirement account at your company.
Well, at the post office, they did that. Yeah, they did that. Like every 6 months, or if someone's just joining or whatever, they will come in and say, so-and-so are in the swing room or the cafeteria. And if anyone wants to go talk to them, you can talk about the post office, your plans, retirement, social security, all that stuff. So they did have every 6 months, I think. Yeah. People to come in.
A general understanding of what retirement stuff you have. So you can always go to HR to say what you have. But when it comes to the investment, the account, there's got to be somebody available to you to talk to, phone number.
But it's interesting you say that because, you know, the previous company I worked for, I've been there for many years and I left. And I got a letter from saying, you know, you still have all this money in your IRA account. What do you want to do with it? I completely forgot about it. I completely forgot about that account, to your point. And so they're like, do you want to disperse? You want to roll it over? So I said, cut me a check. Because I was like, you know, I had severed ties with that company. I had forgot the money was there. And believe me, it wasn't penalized either.
If you cut a check versus if you rolled it over?
Right. Say again?
Did they tell you what would happen if you cut a check versus if you rolled it over?
They just gave me the option, and I wasn't penalized when I got a check. So that was a good thing about it.
That's weird because you're.
But I said to pay taxes on it.
No. You're 62 now, right?
But this happened when I was 58, I think when that was. Yeah, 58.
No. 59 and a half for a 401k or an IRA, any retirement account at 59 and a half, you can start taking withdrawals from it. But if you got a full checks for your withdrawal on an IRA before you were 59 and you didn't get penalized, that's, well, you know what?
I got taxed on it though. You
did get taxed on it.
I got taxed. Yeah.
You got taxed. Okay. Because if you rolled it over, you wouldn't have been taxed. That's why they told you that. Because they should have told you if you roll it over to another IRA, you won't be taxed yet. And then you can let it grow some more. But that's what I was asking. They should have told you. They didn't. That was bad on them, I think.
Where are we? Okay. So according to my accountant, the deduction you receive isn't as much due to the new tax laws. I'm not knowledgeable of that, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's not because of the taxes based on it's because itemized versus standard, right? That's what it's about. It's about itemized versus standard. So itemized deductions is when that becomes a great benefit. So if you itemize and you're over $24,000 as a couple, I think it is, it works out. But because the standard now is so high at 24,000, a lot of people just use standard because their itemized doesn't get to that. So that's why they're saying that. So yes, you're 100% right.
Yeah, I think yes. He hadn't. Ernell has a question, but I think it's not complete. But I think further down he says, "Can you speak to the?" And further down he says, "Rollover funds opportunity."
Okay.
If I'm wrong, Reverend Lawrence, let us know. But I'm assuming that's what you meant. Yeah.
Okay, so rollover funds opportunity. So rollover funds, that just means that I have a 401k or I have some sort of retirement account, and I want to move that money from one retirement account. I'm going to a different company, or I'm retiring, and I want to move from that to some other retirement account. That's what rollover means. Rollover, you have 60 days from the time that money's withdrawn. You have 60 days to put that same exact dollar amount into another account. And if you do that, you do not get taxed, you do not get penalized. If you just take the money out, it's not rolling over, you get penalized. Why do you want to roll it over? Because if you're 55 and you're not ready to retire really yet, and you want that money to grow some more, you roll it over so that way it goes tax-free growth. Because when you roll over into an IRA, it grows tax-free because all taxes are already out of it. So you only get, when you withdraw it, you only get hit with the growth on it.
Makes
now,
sense.
As a 401k. If it goes into an IRA, it will get taxed on the come out, but at your income. But at that point, your income is low because you're not getting a salary anymore. So no longer are you getting $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year like Mark does. You're only making $30,000 a year like I do. So you're in a lower tax bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So when you roll that money, when you take that money out, it's a better deal. Versus if you take it out today and I'm making $200,000, I'm going to get taxed on that money at $200,000. So if you're rolling it over, you want to roll it over and then take it out when you're making the least amount of money you can be making.
Understood. Okay.
All right.
Oh, your sister.
We missed some of it. Stock other companies.
Yeah.
I can talk to that, but it's a long conversation that no one wants to hear my boring conversation.
What are we talking about now? His sister?
No.
Start coming down.
So don't chase the dollars. Correct. The reason why you start when you're young is because the longer you are in retirement or the longer you have until retirement, the average growth of stock over a 10-year period is 6 to 7%. Used to be 8, now it's 6 to 7. So over a 10-year period, you're getting on average growth 6 to 7% per year. Okay, so 1 year where it drops 20, another year is going to go up 20. So if you look at the account every day, you're going crazy. Be more aggressive when you're younger, and when you get older and closer to retirement, be less aggressive because you don't want to be too aggressive because the year retired, you don't want to drop 20%, right?
Exactly.
So you want to be less aggressive. That's the quickie on that one. All right.
Oh, your sister came back with you today.
Yeah.
Welcome, Deborah. Good to see you, or good to hear from you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always. You want to read this, or there's a lot of TIAs and creeps in there. So
I don't know what those New Jersey things are.
That's just New Jersey, but the TIAA craft. Should I roll over a plan like this? Aren't there plans that will make more money for me? Also, are there better times of the year to roll over these funds? Okay, so Deborah, we've talked about this before, but TIAA CREP is something that the state of New Jersey gives out to state workers and to teachers. A lot of teachers across the country will get what's called a TIAA CREP. TIAA is part of it. CREP is another part, right? The TIAA is like a pension. The CREP is like a 401k. It's special to certain people who work certain jobs. Should you roll it over? So if you left that company, left the program that has it, yes, you want to roll it over because the TIAA CREF is only invested in certain things that you cannot control. They control that where it's being invested. If you roll it over into an IRA, now you can control how that's invested because it's your IRA and you say what you want to be invested in. So you could be more aggressive, less aggressive, be in bonds, be in stocks, be in an allocation of all of it, be 100% cash if you want to. But you have more control. When a TIAA CREF, they have a certain they have a certain amount of things they can actually invest in. Is it a better time of the year to roll over? No, not really. There isn't. You roll over, you roll over.
You know, in the beginning of the show, you mentioned something about reverse mortgages. So for people that are retiring, should reverse mortgage be a good thing or bad thing?
Okay. So first of all, what is a reverse mortgage? Reverse mortgage says Rupert owns a $400,000 house, right? I can now say to this companies I want to take a reverse mortgage, I want you to pay me money on my house. So they're going to pay you $2,000 a month. And what they do is say, now you owe us $2,000. Now, if I want to sell my house, they look at the balance and say, well, we paid you out $200,000. So when you sell your house, you owe us $200,000 plus interest. So it sounds great because I get now to live off the equity in my home. And if you really need that money, it's a great thing to have and do. But it's easier for you to say, look, I'm going to sell my $400,000 home and I'm going to move to a community where I don't have to pay that much. I can pay rent and get my money and invest it and it grow 5 or 6% per year in annuity. Annuity is something that grows automatic growth, right? It's automatic. You're going to get 5% per year in annuity, regardless of what happens to the market. The market goes 20%, you're only getting 5. Market goes down 20%, you're still getting 5%. So you put your large lump sum of money and you can now pay your bills, do what you got to do, but you're making money on your home and you don't have to owe anybody that plus interest because they're not giving you the $2,000 and saying there's no interest being paid. You're paying interest, right? So reverse mortgages have their good dealings, but overall, you want to ask yourself, how much do I need? This is where the budgeting comes in. Is it worth it? Because some people want to leave their house with their children and they don't know really how reverse mortgage works. And they end up saying, I'm leaving my house to you. And when you pass away, you leave the house to the child owes $300 to the reverse mortgage company.
Wow.
That's why I said that was a good idea.
Wow. Okay.
No, this one's personal. We might want to skip this one.
Let's talk about this one.
But it's all good. I'm looking forward to go on retirement, exploring new adventures with my hubby. I plan to retire in 2 years and trust God will take care of us. That's so beautiful.
That's so nice.
Yes, it is.
Where are you going to go exploring?
Wow, the West Side. West Side. Okay. I know. My God. We know it's gonna be way west, so it don't matter. Yeah.
So what do you plan on exploring with your wifey?
That's on a need to know basis.
Just like I answered before, ain't none of y'all business.
It's a need to know basis.
There you go.
I know. I already know.
Oh,
I know. I know some places that Mark wants to go. So I know.
Okay.
So,
well,
that's between us and nobody else. Then there you go.
All right. That's all right. Sorry. This guy messed me up. He moved the thing.
He did because Anita had something else underneath that. Yeah. She said she stresses the importance of INVS to our children as well. I also stress the importance of reviewing every pay stub they receive.
Yeah,
and that's true. Because I think a lot of kids today, they don't do that. They don't look at their financial statements and they need to be aware of it. I mean, for whatever reason, they miss stuff.
They don't know they pay FICA. No one, pretty much most people don't know what FICA is or UIP and all those things, but they're important to know your company's paying them. Yeah. You should look at your thing. Okay.
Okay. Exactly. This is what exactly I'm talking about, Rupert. We should advise each other. A co-worker of mine made me join a 401k program. I continually indebted to her. I'm indebted to her.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, no,
We
same
need
thing
people
happened-
like that.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me. Yeah, I was working for 2 or 3 years. Didn't have a 401k. One of the guys said, "You don't have your 401k yet?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I need the money. I got to pay back student loans." They're like, "Nah, bro, start now." And I
Mhm.
did, and I thanked them for that. That was a great thing.
So Ann says, I was referring to whether or not to pay off your home.
That was
Yeah.
for further question.
That was a
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yes. So, yep.
Ah, my friend is back again. You want to do it in Jamaican?
And I say, yeah, you're right, Simon. I blame my Tom for the incomplete sentence. We wasn't fussing with you, Anna. We got it together. It was all good. You are good.
And see, I couldn't do justice on that accent, so I'm glad he did it because I could have
We
done
good.
it.
We all good.
Hey.
Ann says,
Good, Rupert.
No, same thing. I was advised when I first started working to invest in
okay, yeah.
I thank God for mentors and financial. Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So our friend Dexter Barnes, who's watching with us tonight, welcome, Dexter. Says, people do many things in retirement, including staying active. People maybe exercise, play sports, or walk. Some aim for at least 150 minutes. Very good. That's good, Dennis.
Moderate intensity physical activity per week.
That's good. I mean, some people need to stay active when they retire. I mean, why become dormant? Stay active.
Do something. If
Do
you
something.
get a part-time job,
You really got the time to do it.
Don't just stay in bed.
But if especially if you don't have, like you said, Simon, the one guy's working at 76, right?
Yeah.
So retirement, do something, because if not, go back to work, do something, because it's you don't want to just stay home, because that's how you get sick. That's how your body begins to wear down. The more active you are, the longer your life is expected to live. You have to
But to Dexter's point also too is, yeah, you have to stay active in a sense, because when you was working, you may not have had the time to do what you really wanted to do. In other words, exercise.
Right.
Not everybody wants to get up in the morning, and not everybody wants to work out at night.
Right.
So now you have the time to plan when you want to do the exercise, or if you want to travel, or you want to go places, or you want to do things with family or whatever. Now that you have the time to do it. So I understand what Dexter was trying to say, especially with your physical body.
Right.
Because when you retire,
even go back to school if you have the means, the finances to do. You didn't get a degree, but you want to get one. It's a personal thing. Yeah, you're not going to get a job. It's a personal thing. It's not too late to learn and to educate. I know that for me, it's going to be something that I probably will do, is go back to school and get some degrees, especially in theology, because I need them.
And a lot of times you may have a side hustle that you do now. You may want to entertain it, do it more than what you're doing right now. You're staying active.
Side hustle.
Yeah.
Sean, what?
Should
people do cash? Yeah, go. Should people do cash financing? Okay.
Depends on if you need. Depends on if you need it, right? If you need to do to refinance your home, you have equity. The great thing about a house rather than renting is you have equity, right? So you bought a home back in 2010. You bought it for $300,000, $350,000. Now it's worth, $500,000, because the way houses going up, that's probably worth $600,000, right? And your mortgage is, $50,000 on it because you've been paying it down. You got a ton of equity. You got, $500,000 worth of equity in your home, and you want to buy a new car. If you don't mind to keep paying a mortgage a little bit longer, cash out. Do a refinance and cash out. And buy the car you want and buy it for cash. But you don't have a car payment. You just have longer payments on your mortgage. But the thing about it is, like I said, there's tax benefits to your mortgage if you can get them. There's also the fact that, hey, man, you have so much equity in your home already. But, you know what? Let me revamp that. What you should really do is what's called the HELOC. Home equity line of credit. If you have equity in the home, you do a HELOC. So, for instance, I think I told you this, Mark. You should apply for your HELOC now before you retire.
Right.
because you need your credit score. You need to have an income to actually your HELOC to work. And what a HELOC is a credit card that's based on your house, but not at credit card rates, right? A HELOC normally somewhere between 5 to less of an interest rate, but it's on your home. So they say based on your home, I can give you an equity line of credit of $200,000. So it's like you have a credit card worth $200,000, but you only have to pay it back at 5%. But guess what? You're paying yourself back because when you sell the house, your HELOC gets paid off, but the rest of the money comes right back to you. That's the difference, right? So a HELOC is a great way, instead of taking a cash advance out or do cash out refinancing, get a home equity line of credit. It is a better deal. It's a better deal. All right. In my mind, I could be wrong. I think I would advise people it's a better deal.
Well, I like what Ann, we were talking earlier about the reverse mortgage, because she made the statement that, if you don't pay, basically the bank will take it away from you. And that's a risk. And you got to keep that in mind if you're going to do that reverse mortgage, because you don't know what may happen down the line.
But you're going to pay because if your home is worth $500,000 and you sell it, if the estate sells the house, they're taking she's right, they're taking their money, but they're not going to wait for you to give it to them. They're going to have a lien on it and take your money. So you won't be able to get your money until they get there first, because they're the first lien holder. So she's 100% right.
No, Francis answering his own question. He was answering the question he had before that.
Okay.
Or is that the same thing? Yeah. Mark's exploring new adventures, spend dollars and don't bring the wine. No. I don't know. He just came up. She love you guys.
By the way, love you guys. All right.
I think she was talking about us, Rupert, not you.
Oh, okay.
She was talking about us. She was talking about me. She was talking about you all.
Yeah, Deborah's talking about me and Simon. Not
You're
you.
welcome.
She just said like you guys. If she was going to include me, but I like you guys. Love.
Whoop, whoop.
So
that's stress savings
to the kids.
Okay.
And she said they should know their credit score as well.
Oh, man,
that's the thing that gets me. You got your credit score and you got the FICA. It's like, make your mind up. It's like, why did they have to introduce this FICA? Because the credit score was a good thing. Now this FICA tends to weigh more than the credit score.
FICO,
right. Excuse me.
Your credit score.
FICA is student loans. I'm sorry, FICO. Excuse me.
Yeah. So FICO it's still your credit score, but there's two credit scores out there. There's your what you see on your report.
Right.
Those are, let's say it's 680. Your FICO score is normally about 20 to 30% lower than score you see. So if you have a 680 that you see, your FICO is probably 650. That's what the banks use. That's what your credit card uses to give you a rate. They use your FICO. They don't use your regular credit score, which is called your Vantage 8. They use what's called a FICO. So most people, when they say, well, my credit score is 650. Well, no, it isn't. To them, it's 620 or 630.
But again, so why did they make the two different? Why can't you just eliminate one instead of having two?
Because your credit score was not meant to actually ever happen, right? Your credit score is like taxes. They came up because there was a need, right? The need was for how can institutions figure out your credit worthiness? And what they did was they used this score called the regular credit score to create that based on certain bells and whistles. Well, mortgages found out, or companies found out, that everything that's in your regular score doesn't really tell the picture of you, and they add other things to it. And based on those other things, like a hard hits on your regular is a lot less. Hard hit means that somebody actually looked at your credit. A hard hit is a lot less impactful on your regular score versus your FICO. Why? Because the more times you get hit on they're saying people are not approving you. There's a reason why. So it's a bigger hit on your FICO score than it is on your regular score. So that's what happened. That's why it's not that they changed it. It's just that how they look at certain things that happen to you.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes to go.
It doesn't affect your FICO that much. You miss one. I mean, it doesn't affect your regular credit that much. You miss one payment, it affects your FICO a whole bunch.
Gotcha. All right. Wow.
Can
We got 3 minutes left.
3 minutes.
And we got quite a few questions or comments too.
Yes, we as POC need to create investment accounts for our kids when they are small. It will be to help them in their future.
Yes.
Yes. She agrees with Ann.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. We agree. Okay.
Keep
You're
going.
welcome.
Love you, Nita.
Yeah. Thank you. Great statement from Dexter. My wife and I. Yes. So Ernal and they're young. They're still young.
Right.
Thanks.
Thanks,
You're welcome, Sean. I'm assuming everything that Rupert was saying that he agrees with you. So he said thanks.
But hey, cool.
That's an assumption.
Invest properties to increase income. Use home equity wisely. Very true and good one.
And S chimed right on the credit stuff. Perfect. Okay.
Credit is not good advice for me. Oh, she talked about herself. Unless you can pay off the full amount of each payment, period, thereby not paying interest. Yeah.
Some people don't like credit.
No.
It's just
No.
good show, my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Esther, I'm a firm believer in paying credit cards
Immediately.
Yes, no interest.
Mhm.
I do it if you can.
Okay. Lastly, before you have to go, do not close out your credit cards if you don't have to. Closing out credit cards hurts your score, does not help it. If you pay off your credit card, leave it alone, let it stay there with no money on it. Great, because that helps your that helps your debt to equity ratio. Because if you have a $3,000 credit limit on your credit card, they're saying you have $3,000 of income that you can put to work, that you have now put to work. So don't close out your credit cards. Plus, your credit card history is a positive, especially when you're buying a home. That's why every kid should get a credit card once they get out of college, but do not use it unless you're going to pay gas and then pay it right off. Period. All right. Quick.
A lot of good information on retirement.
You did a great job, Rupert.
I mean,
thank you. You was the guest.
I mean, well, no, you're a guest because you've already gone through it. I'm in the process of looking into it.
He was the
knowledgeable one.
Yes, he was.
So,
appreciate it.
And we thank you guys all for your comments and your questions. And it was a good show tonight. I appreciate you guys.
And once again, as usual, maybe young people out there who watches that show, do you think we should add another 15 minutes onto our show? That's just putting it out there. We just comments next week. You may answer if you want to, but do you think we should add another 15 minutes to our show? And on that line, on that line, all three of us are going to say to y'all,
hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. We got to clear what he was saying.
Good night, everybody.